Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Brandon from Adrenaline Sports, and today we'll be covering the top 13 shoes for 2020. Unfortunately, due to our current situation, we don't have the shoes on hand, but we've already done in-depth reviews on all of these shoes, so I'll make sure to include links above and below so you can see the in-depth review on all of these shoes. As the year continues and new versions of these shoes continue to update, we'll update the list and make sure that you have the latest version of this shoe down below in the links. Let's get into it. The ASICS Gel Nimbus 22 is perhaps one of the most cushioned shoes on the list, and it really wraps your foot with the adaptive upper. Our run tester Todd had the pleasure of running in this shoe, so let's hear a couple of words from him.
In running, or while I'm running, the heel cushion was out of this world. So I'm someone that I am a heel striker, not super heavy heel striker, but I do heel strike. So having that extra cushion in the heel is awesome. Now they use that full gel, heel and forefoot in the Nimbus. This is like their max cushion neutral shoe, and I thought the cushion in the shoe was great. So upon forefoot toe off, this shoe flexes really well. I wouldn't say it's the most responsive shoe, not like some of the lightweight trainer type shoes where you're gonna feel that ground and feel really responsive. But what I will say is it flexes in the right points, and you're gonna have a good ride in this shoe.
I also got a chance to run the ASICS Gel Nimbus 22 a couple of times, and I thought it really felt great on my foot, so you might consider giving that one a go. Next on the list is the ASICS Gel Kayano 26. I really liked how the stability on this shoe really guided my neutral gait to be kind of more in line and more firm. It's been a couple of months since I ran in the shoe, so let's take it back to me and see what I had to say about it.
And when I compared the 25 versus the 26, that was the biggest difference, was the gel cushioning in the rear foot and in the forefoot. So here in the forefoot on this shoe, I'd say there's a lot more cushioning on this shoe than there's on the 25. So if you're a toe runner, this is going to be the perfect shoe for you. If you're a midfoot runner and stability, this is the ideal shoe for you.
Overall, this is a fantastic shoe for just living in day to day. If you're a stability runner looking for that top of the line stability, this is it. If you're a neutral runner who just needs a little bit extra guidance, this shoe is going to do you well as well. Next on the list is the Adidas Solar Boost 19. This was one of Sam's favorite shoes of the year, and I can't disagree with her. I love running in this shoe. This is the perfect shoe that you could pack in your bag when you don't want to pack two shoes for the day and you've got to do, live, work, play, whatever you got to do. Let's take it to Sam and see what she has to say.
You don't feel like you're, just being too enveloped. It's not too snug, but it is really comfortable material here in the upper. And then the upper here is a really stylish, nice, breathable upper. So you'll see that you won't really find that the shoe feels hot or heavy, which is a really nice element of it too.
We can't move on from the Solar Boost without mentioning the boost in this shoe. It's extremely squishy and it gives you a super cushioned ride all throughout. The Brooks Ghost 12 has Biomogo DNA and DNA Loft in the midsole, which provides a ton of cushioning in the heel, as well as a bunch of responsiveness when you're toeing off. Sam also mentioned that this shoe runs a little bit snug, so you might consider going up half a size.
It's not so springy and cushy that you feel like your foot is just kind of like gelling into your shoe. It actually feels responsive and smooth, and you can get a little bit of that ground feel with this cushion too. So it really is just the right amount of cushioning, and that's what a lot of other people are reporting too, is they love that element of the Ghost. The other thing I noticed is upon putting my foot into the shoe, it was incredibly, incredibly plush and comfortable.
The Brooks Ghost 12 sounds like a great shoe to run in. I've ran in a bunch of other shoes in the past with the same midsole technology, so I can totally relate to what Sam's saying there. The Brooks Adrenaline GTS 20, stability shoe, neutral shoe, nobody really knows what to call it with the guide rail technology these days, but Todd took it for a run and says it's extremely cushioned, provides a little bit of stability when you need it, and it feels fantastic. Let's see what he had to say.
So for me, this felt like a really stable, neutral shoe. It didn't feel like a stability shoe to me, and that was, again, for me, fantastic. I absolutely loved the ride of this shoe. I would say compared to everything else that I've had recently, this is, if not at the very top, right up towards the top. I think last week I said the New Balance 1080 V10 was my new favorite shoe. This one is certainly giving it a run for its money. It's funny, I have a kind of a rule that I never wear the same shoe 2 days in a row. I just don't do it. And this was the first shoe in a long time where after run 1, which was about 3 days ago, I was tempted to run again in it the next day.
I've tried other shoes with the guide rail technology, and I completely agree with Todd that as a neutral runner, it doesn't impede your run at all, but when you do run on a little bit uneven terrain, like a sidewalk with some cracks in it, it definitely steps in to kind of keep your gait aligned, which I really liked as well. The Hoka One One Clifton 6 was my first introduction into the Hoka lineup, and I gotta tell you, it was made with a purpose, and that purpose is daily training. I've gone on to run in the Arahi, the Carbon X, and the Rincon, and they all feel great, but this one is fantastic when it comes to daily training. Let's see what I had to say about it.
This foam is really what's coming in clutch there, because every step I take, I'm not really feeling it. So it's perfect for me. I'm going on a nice, long, slow run. This is what it's for. It's a daily trainer, as well as a fast racing shoe if you need to. I think the shoe is only 9 ounces. So 9 ounces, this shoe was feeling great. I mean, I guess that doesn't say much, but it's super light. Trust me, it's super light. Feels great on the foot. And what I mentioned at the beginning of this video, for us wide-footed runners who don't necessarily like to admit it, or fall somewhere in between where we're not really buying wide shoes, but sometimes shoes end up a little narrow for us.
I'm looking forward to having a lot of more great runs in this shoe, as it still remains in my shoe rotation today. The Hoka One One Carbon X was a shoe that everyone in our office was excited about. We all tried it for different types of events. I ran an Ironman 70.3 in it, which is just 13 miles, but at the end of a long day of competing, I really needed that midsole technology, the Meta Rocker, as well as the carbon plate to really propel me forward. And let's see what Sam had to say about this shoe as well.
So those are two elements, the carbon plate and then also the early stage Meta Rocker, which is a Hoka staple. The other element of the shoe that people are really enjoying is ProFly cushioning. So along here you'll see that it's got that nice layer of ProFly cushioning. And what that does is that does provide that cushion support that you're used to from Hoka shoes, but you will want to note that this is a little less cushioned than some of your other Hoka favorites. Like the Bondi, for example, as you know, is the most cushioned Hoka shoe. So this one you can expect a little less cushioning, especially in the heel area here. So that's what makes this shoe a little bit different.
Now the Carbon X definitely is not a beginner shoe. This is a shoe that you want to add to your existing lineup for certain training days that you want to go fast, maybe your racing shoe. So keep that in mind when you're making your purchase. The New Balance 1080 V10 is a complete luxury daily trainer. This shoe feels great on foot, your feet are gonna love you for it, and it just looks really nice and has quality materials. Let's see what Todd had to say about this shoe.
Now this shoe does run a little bit heavier, but on the road it doesn't feel overly heavy. It just feels like a really nice cushioned ride, which is great. Wouldn't recommend this as like your speed workout shoe, but definitely like an everyday trainer, this is gonna work great. Another thing I really liked on this shoe, they use this kind of the high heel of the shoe, protect the Achilles. I really like that a lot. No weird rubbing, no blistering in the Achilles.
I myself am personally a fan of the heel fit on this shoe. You really just slip right in and it fits like a glove. Once again, a luxury shoe. The New Balance Fuelcell Rebel was definitely one of my favorite shoes last year, and I still wear it to this day because of how awesome it is. At slower paces, it does great. At faster paces though, that's when the shoe really excels. The midsole geometry really lets you take those corners and allows you to have kind of a frictionless experience while you're running. Let's see what I had to say about this shoe a couple months ago.
But when I'm rounding my corners going quickly, especially when I'm out in like city blocks or just like in suburban blocks, I want to round a corner quickly. You're really glad that you have this edge and that extra traction. And you can see all the way here to the edge, like I've been using it. The tread is getting dirty all the way over there because that's the science of your foot when you're taking that rounded edge. So when you're out there moving quickly, there's really not any other shoe on the market that's going to give you that. That's going to give you that quick turn on the corners and give you that grip the whole time.
Like I said, the New Balance Fuelcell Rebel has been one of my favorite shoes of the past year, and I'm going to continue to run in this shoe all throughout the year. The Nike Pegasus 36 is an absolute classic of a shoe. Every year they come out with new versions that just get a little bit better, and this version has great midsole technology as well as Zoom Air units in the forefoot that provide a ton of responsiveness. We gave a pair to our friend Seth. Let's see what he had to say about it.
The Zoom Air unit does provide some cushion underfoot, but the cushion line is still pretty firm, so you get some nice responsiveness and some nice ground feel. There's definitely a reason why the Nike Pegasus line has been as popular as it has been over the last couple years, and the Pegasus 36 is definitely a great shoe.
Like I said, this shoe just gets better every single year, and we're super excited for the Pegasus 37 to come out really soon. The Nike Infinity Run React is Nike's revolutionary approach to building shoes. They claim that this shoe can reduce injury by up to 52%. Now they do that by widening the base of the shoe as well as putting guide rails in the shoe. Now, we've seen both of these things done in the past across other brands, but this is the first time that's all coming together in a Nike shoe. I've ran in it, I really enjoyed this shoe. Let's see what our friend Todd had to say about it as well.
The heel to toe transition was fantastic. I definitely felt, while I would say this is a daily trainer, this isn't a speed shoe, I felt fast in this shoe. It felt easy to run, and I think there's a lot of reasons for that. The extra foam they put here in the midsole with the extra React, it definitely did its job. It worked really well. I felt really good after these runs, like I could keep going, or like the next day was a little bit easier, because the shoe just takes care of the foot and the rest of the body really well.
The Nike Infinity Run React is a fantastic shoe that's in my lineup to this day, and it's a great shoe for just kicking around in. The On Cloud has been a surprise favorite amongst runners with a totally unconventional midsole. It hugs the foot, and it's a really fast shoe. Sam tested the shoe, and it remains as one of her favorites of the year. Let's see what she had to say.
So the 3 things that stand out to me most about this shoe, again, the CloudTech Cloud Pods that allow for shock absorption and for great propulsion. The lacing system that I was wildly skeptical of, but I really enjoyed in the end. The breathable mesh was really nice. I don't think that's number 3 though, actually. I'm gonna take that one back. I liked it, but number 3 would be the inner construction of the shoe was super comfortable.
Personally, these shoes have been great for mixed terrain runs. Those deep lugs in the shoe really provide a lot of grip and support when you're kind of out there going back and forth, or just getting back onto the road when you gotta jump into a ditch or something. Not total off-road shoes, trust me, but they can definitely get the job done. The Triumph 17 is Saucony's most cushioned shoe yet, and it provides a ton of cushion with the Power Run Plus. Super luxury feel, fits fantastic. Let's see what Todd had to say about this.
So a couple things that I really loved with this shoe. Number 1, the heel. The heel is probably my favorite heel in a shoe in the last 5 or 6 years. I thought it was fantastic. First, when you slip your foot in, it has that really nice Saucony tried and true fit where it's got that nice tight heel fit, which I really like because I have a little bit of a narrower heel. The other thing is, up here on the outside of the heel, they almost are using, the best way I could describe it is like a memory foam almost.
Building on what Todd said, the Power Run Plus is an awesome technology that is really going to give your foot a great break when you're in those long runs, and it's going to take you any distance that you need to go. Alright everyone, if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. If you're curious to learn more about these shoes, we have links below with in-depth reviews on all of them, as well as links to purchase. As always, our Roadrunner Sports VIPs get free online shipping and a 90-day test run on these shoes. Wear them, love them. If you don't, send them back to us and we'll get you a pair that better fits your needs. Make sure to subscribe to our channel if you want to get all the latest news on the latest running shoes and running techniques brought to you by our team of coaches. And let us know in the comments below what running shoe you're looking most forward to in 2020. Alright guys, we'll see you on the road.